Welcome everyone to the 2017 One Mission Gala. This room is filled with a diverse group of people. We have mayors, we have international mayors, we have people who have flown in from out of state, we have professional athletes, we have people who have even driven from the West Valley. Regardless of where you came from, why you're here, whether your friend texted you this morning saying, hey man, I need to fill my host package, we believe you're here for a reason. One Mission is a community development organization giving people in poverty the opportunity to earn a house by serving their community. You're gonna hear a ton about that tonight. My name's Nate Hughes, I'm the VP of Partnerships here at One Mission, and this is Kristen Keogh. You've maybe seen her on TV. She hosts some post-game stuff after Sunday Night Football. She does some weather. She's on the radio. But that's just kind of a side hustle. Her real passion and really where her time's invested is with One Mission.
That's right. You guys stole my heart 3 years ago, and here I am still, because how can your passion not be helping people in poverty? There are 1.6 billion people living in poverty, as you saw in the video. That's 1 in 5 of us. Over the last 9+ years, One Mission has built 687 homes. That's 2,082 people that now have safe shelter because of this organization. And these aren't just numbers. These are families. They're people just like everyone filling this room. They're parents, sometimes grandparents, moms, dads with little babies to take care of. And they're doing everything that they can. And then we get to make up for what they can't do.
That's right. But while we built all these homes, it's important to know that first and foremost, we're a community development organization. We want to see communities holistically transformed by families working together to lift themselves up out of poverty.
But before we jump into all of that, we do want to thank our sponsors and our hosts who made tonight possible.
That's right. 100% of the money that's donated tonight is going to go to projects and programs on the field. In fact, every time someone makes a public donation, 100% of it is going to go to projects and programs on the field.
And so that's actually because of what we call our One Fund, and that is separately funded by committed individuals, companies, churches, foundations, and trip fees. And so that allows us to scale the organization while still staying committed to the 100% model.
In addition to our US staff, we also have 32 people who work internationally, and 25 of whom are One Mission House recipients. 25 of the 32 have worked hard, earned a house, and now have come on staff and joined us. In addition to our staff, we have 2 field partners that we work with in El Salvador and Nicaragua. In El Salvador, we work with an organization called Enlace, and in Nicaragua, we work with the Global Che Network. But all of this, all the stuff we've been talking about, ultimately it comes down to providing dignity, ownership, worth, value for the people who are receiving these homes. I just want to tell you a quick story about that. A few years back, we had a team building a house for a woman, and just in the same way, if you were getting a custom home built, you would want the house built the way you want it, right? And so when we build for a family, we ask them where they want their house built on their property. We build one window, or one door, 2 windows. And so we ask them, where do you want your door? Where do you want your windows? And we build that out for them, right? Pretty simple. Well, one day, as we're building for this woman, they're asking where you want the window. And she says, in this kind of odd spot on one of the walls. They call the foreman over and they say, she wants the window built here. It's like kind of unusual, but we asked her, are you sure you want it built there? Yep, I'm sure I want it built there. So they build the window there. That's day 1. They raise the house. Day 2, they stucco, roof, do all that. Day 3, they're kind of finishing the house up. And they look, and the woman's standing at the window looking out. And so one of the women walks over to her and says, what are you doing? Why are you just standing there looking out this window? And she says, for as long as I can remember, I've dreamed of looking out a window and watching my kids come home from school. We take that for granted, right? That we have safe and secure shelter alone, we take for granted. But a simple request of where does my window go had a profound impact on this woman being able to care for her children. That's why I do what I do. That's why I can stand up here and be an advocate for these families.
Thank you for sharing that story. Every time you share that story, no matter how many times I've heard it, it gives me chills. It really drives the message home that this is more than just a house.
Yep.
Right now I have the honor to introduce someone that I personally look up to, and he's a very special partner of One Mission. Dan Tyre, he's on our advisory and our Thunder board, and he went to Colgate University. He also graduated. He didn't just go, he graduated too. That's really important to mention. Now he is employee number 6 at HubSpot. He helped grow them into a $400 million company with 2,200 employees. So he speaks all over the whole world to business people, and you're gonna get to hear from him tonight. Dan believes that he can do the most good in the world. That's his mission. And he will leave you feeling like you can change the world. Every time we have a meeting with him, I feel like I can go conquer the world.
That's
So
true.
Dan, come on up. We're so excited that you're here.
Woo.
Very good. Oh, baby. What do you think of that pose? It's the last time you saw a 59-year-old man impersonating a Power Ranger. Let me see it over here. Let's do the 1 Mission power pose. I love it. All right, my name is Dan Tyre. I have a very short speaking part tonight. I have to start out with an apology for the people that I invited. Apparently the shorts and flip-flops wasn't the exact type of attire that's listed in the brochure. So my beautiful wife is in the front row next year. Just ask her what to wear. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm super excited, inspired by a packed room, by all the great people that I've met so far. Very, very fun. What is it like to stand up for a total stranger in a completely different country who's going through a tough time and doesn't have a lot of options? The ability to act and to express basic human kindness. The last 2 years since I've been working with 1 Mission, it has been amazing. The experience of basic human kindness is extraordinary, and it changes everybody that's involved. Right? Having gone through a mission, the ability to spend 3 days and to hand the keys to a house of someone who has nothing is a great opportunity for everyone involved. It's my privilege tonight to introduce the founder and CEO of 1 Mission. Jason Law is a dad, he's a husband, he is the founder of 1 Mission. And Jason is involved in a lot of entrepreneurial organizations. He is the co-founder of Mission Create, a nonprofit incubator here in Phoenix. He's a frequent speaker on social innovation, on entrepreneurships and missions. And he's on the board of directors of the Global Chi network, representing 500 plus agencies in 112 countries. So it's my pleasure to introduce Jason Law.
How are you, buddy? Nice. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I first stood in these barrios when I was 14 years old. I was a freshman in high school, and I was on my first mission trip with my church. And up until that point, let me just paint a picture of kind of what my childhood looked like. Probably the poorest person that I knew up until that point was like the kid down the street that didn't have a swimming pool. That's how obnoxiously narrow my worldview was. And so here I am, I'm 14 years old, I'm standing in these barrios, and I feel like I'm in a war zone, like a movie scene. And I'm surrounded by thousands of people that frankly live in crap. And I went home from that first mission trip, and it broke me. I didn't shower for like 2 or 3 weeks, I just didn't feel worthy of it. Now eventually I started to shower. Tonight I took like a halfway shower. We were in a hurry. But I didn't feel worthy of everything that I had. And frankly, there's a part of me now that still doesn't feel worthy of everything I have. But as a kid, it crushed my soul. Nobody told me that people live like this. Nobody told me that 1 billion people live like this, let alone the thousands of people that I was standing around. And so over the course of the next 10 years, through college and my early 20s, I did as many service projects as I possibly could do in Mexico. And I loved it. I just felt connected. I felt like I was being useful. I felt like that was part of why God designed me. And at the age of 25, God began to give me a new vision. And it was like almost him telling me, like, do more. And it wasn't a clear, like, we're gonna do all of these things. It wasn't a clear XYZ steps 1 through 10. It was just, Jace, do more. And at 25, I was a firefighter. I had a small business on the side, a landscaping company, married to Tina, getting ready to start a family. I left the fire department to start 1 Mission and dive in. And again, I didn't have all the answers. We didn't have the answers. The people that helped us start 1 Mission, we didn't have all the answers, but we knew we needed to do more. And we knew that we needed to found it on 2 principles. The first principle was that we had to respect the community as active participants in their own development not passive recipients of some outside charity. We knew that if we had continued to just go down on weekends and do projects, that over the course of the next 10 years, we weren't sure that we would really be lifting the community out of poverty. When I looked back at the 10-year investment from the age of 14 to 25, 24, 25 years old, I wasn't sure that if I continued at that at the age of 35, we would really lift the community out of poverty. And so when we started One Mission, we said, we're going to engage the community, be active participants, not passive recipients. That dignity wouldn't matter. We've learned that a few different times. We've had families in the field, in the communities that we work with, who have had opportunities to get houses from other entities, who have said, I don't want something for free. I would rather live on a dirt floor for another 6 months to a year to earn a One Mission house rather than get a free house. Now, I don't know about you parents out there, but as a dad, I don't know if I would do that. But there are families that are choosing dignity over some free handout. And that's what inspires us to continue what we do. But it's not just true internationally. We know this to be true in the United States. A couple years ago, we were in an office, our old office was at 32nd Street in Greenway. I know a lot of you guys are from out of town, but North Phoenix. And we're in like a shopping center, and it's raining. And for any of you guys that know when it's raining in Phoenix, you're like, okay, that's the second day of the year it's raining, and we all go crazy and start driving like animals. And so I'm sitting at my desk, and it's raining. It's like, I mean, it's kind of like that bumper video that we started with, you know. So it's pouring rain, and I go out the back door to like the alley to just, you know, I want to see how hard it's raining. I don't know, stop work and take a little break. So I open up the back door, and there's this woman who's kneeled down. She's kneeled down like this, and she's next to a dumpster. And one of those dumpsters, you know, like with the guy that the arm goes swing and like dumps it in there. So one of those dumpsters. But I tell the arm thing because you got to know that she has a piece of cardboard like on top of the arm thing, and she's got a mirror under it, and it's pouring rain on her. And I open up the back door and like startle her. She turns around, she's like, oh, she thinks I'm like a cop or something. She's like, I'm sorry, I'll get my stuff, I'll get out of here. I said, no, what are you doing out here, lady? She's like, no, I'm like, no, get inside, would you? It's raining, you're soaking wet. She looked like a hot mess. So she comes in, bring her in, sit her down. I said, go to the bathroom, clean yourself up. She comes out. I said, hey, I'm getting ready to order some lunch. Do you want a sandwich or something? She's like, yeah. She looked beat up, guys. So we sit down, we start having a sandwich together. And over the course of about 20 minutes, I'm just asking her, I said, where do you live out on the streets? Yeah. Okay, are you sick? Yeah, I'm sick. She's got it rough. So when I get to know her, I asked her her name. Her name's Kelly. Kelly's my mom's name. So I instantly have a connection with her. I said, Kelly, we're getting ready to hire a cleaning crew to clean up our office. We're gonna hire them every week. They're gonna come once a week, clean our office. Would you like to clean our office once a week for 2 hours? I'll pay you $20, clean the office, and come every Wednesday. I'll be here and we'll have lunch together. She puts her sub down. She looks up. Tears are running down her face. She says, you'll give me a job? Now, I don't know exactly why she's crying at this moment, but I think to myself, I don't know when the last time somebody's valued her or accepted her. She's just accepted that she's an outcast, right? I say, when was the last job you had? She couldn't remember. She doesn't remember the last time somebody believed in her. So she joins our team. The point is, dignity matters. And that was the first principle that we founded One Mission on, was that families had to be involved in the process. They had to be active participants so that we could ensure their dignity was intact. The second main principle that we started on, this isn't changing. Here we go. As a community development organization, we wanted to be holistic. Let me unpack what holistic means. Every community has what we call sectors: education sector, health sector, economic, media, sports, entertainment, faith, civic. If any one of these sectors is broken, then we experience poverty. The more broken that sector is, the more poverty that you'll see in there. Do I need this? Okay. Okay. All right.
There we are.
Thank you. Yeah. As if it doesn't get any harder. Each community, every community, our community, the communities we work in, they have sectors, right? You with me? If any of these sectors is broken, then we're going to experience poverty. It's another way to explain poverty is brokenness. If we've got a broken health sector, you're gonna have a bunch of sick people, you're gonna have a bunch of kids dying. If you've got a broken education sector, you're gonna have a bunch of people that aren't smart and they're not gonna get jobs. That's gonna impact the economic sector. They all work together. We are using housing as a catalyst to develop other sectors. I'm gonna unpack that in a second, but we're going deep with housing. Housing isn't the only problem with poverty. That's one part of the problem. And there isn't one organization that can solve all the problems. But we have to understand that as a community, we have to develop other sectors of the community in the process. That was principle number 2. When we move into a community, a lot of people ask us, how do you vet a community? What are you looking for in a community? How do you choose what community you go to? The very first thing we do is we sit down with local leaders from all those different sectors. This is us in Nicaragua on our first trip to Nicaragua visiting a community. Sitting around this circle are leaders from the faith community, the education community, the medical community, and we're dreaming with them. Now, these aren't governors of the state. These are contextualized to the leaders of this community. Notice we're sitting in a circle. There isn't one person in charge. I'm not in charge. I don't have all the answers. We can't blueprint all the poor's problems in the solutions in a board meeting in Phoenix or in the United States. That won't lift people out of poverty. That's strategy. We have to partner with them. We have to blueprint solutions with them. When we cast vision with them and say, what are some things in your community that you think are a problem? Number 1 that they told us, malaria. Malaria is a huge problem in Central America. Well, guess what? A lot of malaria can be prevented by cleaning up streets, preventing standing water, cleaning up things, right? But most people don't know that. And so malaria can be addressed if we have families earning houses, earn their hours to address malaria. I'm gonna unpack that in a second, but the point is that the first thing we do in a community is we sit down with the local leaders and we say, what's the vision for this community? What are some things that you wanna change? And when they own that vision, we got them, because it's theirs. They have to own the problem and then they'll own the solution. That's how we create sustainable impact. The more we own, the less they will. If they own the problem and the solution, it's their vision. They're the heroes. They're the ones that are gonna lift themselves out of poverty through a partnership with us. Once we identify a community and we say, okay, we're gonna start working in here, what are the types of projects that we're gonna do? Then we can start to begin to work directly with the families that live in that community. This is Argentina. Argentina lives in Nicaragua. I couldn't change her name to simplify it for you guys, but Argentina lives in Nicaragua, okay? We're not in Argentina, we're in Nicaragua. Argentina lives there. I met Argentina 2 years ago. She's got 5 kids. Her husband had killed himself a couple of years prior, and in her words, he just couldn't take it anymore. He just couldn't take it. So when I meet Argentina, she's got 5 kids and she lives in a house. This is her house that she lived in, her 5 kids. Dirt floors, roof that leaks. Her house could just blow over. She's a single mom. She had a kid in the hospital. How in the world do we help somebody like Argentina who lives thousands of miles away, but right now, at the time that I meet her, her life trajectory is probably at best horizontal. It maybe even is like this, meaning her kids might have it worse than she has it. As a parent, that's like our worst nightmare, right? That our kids have it worse than we have it. We just want our kids to have it better than we had it. How do we change the trajectory of her life? The first thing we do is she applies for the house. So she has to learn, how do I earn a 1Mission house? Where do I go? She'll go to community centers or local churches that we work with, and she'll apply for the house. She'll learn what she needs to do to earn her house. Earn 200 hours doing these different projects, whatever the projects are in that community. The second thing that happens is that we're learning from Argentina. This is really where the magic happens. When we ask Argentina, what are you good at? What do you know how to do? Do you know how to make piñatas? Do you know how to make empanadas? Do you know English? Do you know how to read? What do you know? What capacity do you have that you can offer your community? When we can start to dig into her capacity, she has something to offer. And now that's where dignity and power come from. So we ask Argentina, what can you do? Now, if she can't do anything, meaning she has no capacity, she has no education, she doesn't have anything, okay, then we'll plug her into some other projects. But when we can unlock the capacity, then we can really build something. The poor, no matter how destitute, have enormous untapped capacity. Find it, be inspired by it, and build upon it. The answers to poverty isn't just us as outsiders. If there's capacity in the communities we're working in, we can cultivate that, and the community together will lift themselves out of poverty. The poor, no matter how destitute, have enormous untapped capacity. Once Argentina applies for a house, we learn about her, then we go into securing her property. Now, property rights is a no-brainer just for the fact of we need her to own the house so somebody doesn't come if she earns the house and then says 6 months later, say, no, I own that house. We don't want that. And us as donors, I can't make that promise to you guys that you're investing in a house that actually isn't somebody who earned it. So we have to secure the property rights. That's a no-brainer. But here's where property rights get deeper. The total value of real estate held but not legally owned by the globally poor is over $9 trillion. That's almost 10% of the total global wealth. Let me put that in perspective. $9 trillion is dead capital that exists in the world. It's real estate that the poorest people in the world live on, but it's not realized. It's not deedable. It's not documented. This is 9 times more than all of the U.S. currency that's currently in circulation. There's $1.5 trillion of U.S. currency. We could give all the U.S. currency to the world's poorest people, and almost 9 times more than that exists in real estate. If we can unlock that real estate and deed this property to the world's poorest people, you can start to build something on it. This picture behind me is of the world at night, obviously. The countries that have the brightest lights, I can trace back to the countries with the most sophisticated, secure property rights. Real estate property, patents, etc. The countries that are the darkest, you can trace back to they're a disaster when it comes to property rights. When we can secure property for the world's poorest people, they can begin to build wealth off of that. The single most important source of funding for small businesses in the United States is a mortgage on an entrepreneur's house. We say our country, the United States, one of the richest countries in the world, is built on the backbone of small business. Peel the onion back a little bit, it's on property rights. So we secure the property rights with the family before they even start entering the house, and instantly they are protected. Once the family starts, we apply it, we secure their land, then they can start earning their house. These are some of the ways that families earn their hours. We'll start on the very left, building your neighbor's house. Almost every family that we build for builds their neighbor's house. Imagine for a second that you built your neighbor's house. I barely know my neighbor's name. That's terrible to say, but I don't know all my neighbors. Imagine building their house for 6 months and then them helping you build your house. That builds community. Learning how to read, getting an education. These are all ways that families can earn their house. Learning how to sew, learning micro-enterprise, different capacities that they can learn. We work with faith leaders in all the communities we work with. Spiritual poverty is just as important as physical poverty. This is Fatima. Fatima's in the middle, she's dosing, she's doing vaccines. Remember the first slide I showed with the circle of all of us? Fatima's in that circle. And she's the one that brought malaria and vaccines to the table. We partnered with the local hospital. They provided us with the medicine, and then families earned their house by dosing their community with vaccines and teaching people about malaria prevention. So we're able to change the trajectory of the health sector by leveraging a house for hours to develop the community. You guys following me with this? Good. Okay, on my left, your right, you see a road there. This road is in El Salvador. Before this road was built, we could barely get materials into the community, but the community is about 25,000 people. They couldn't get ambulances, they couldn't get school buses. We might be able to build a house there, but what happens if you build a house and then they can't get an ambulance there? Kids die. So people were dying, kids aren't going to school. That's what takes community development. Families came together, earned their hours by building this road. A community is now impacted of 25,000 people, and in the process, families are getting homes. Gardening is a huge earning opportunity for families. Providing sustainable, clean food is actually not that hard to do for the world's poorest people. Teaching them about composting, tire gardening, window gardening, it's not that difficult to do. It's just an education problem. We're teaching families how to do their own gardening. And then families learn it, and then guess what? They can teach their other friends about it, et cetera, et cetera. This is a street sign project that we did. I was astonished. One thing I didn't know when we started One Mission, and the deeper we get into it, is some of the things that actually happen in the community. A lot of these communities aren't named. And a lot of these people get forgotten about. And these are the people, by the way, if you go down to Rocky Point, these are the people that are selling you stuff. These are the people that are cleaning your bedroom at your hotel. These are people that are serving us. Now they have jobs, if they have jobs. But they live in communities that don't even have names. The community came together, they told us they wanted to offer it as an earning opportunity. We didn't come up with this. They said, we want to name our streets, and they named all the streets in their community. What kind of ownership do you think comes after they do that, right? I mean, they name their community. This is what we're trying to accomplish in all the sectors. We work with sports, obviously, as a sector. I'm going to share with you 9 years of outputs. We've done a 9-year impact study. We just finished it a couple months ago. And I couldn't share with you all the outputs because I'm afraid this microphone will break if I do that. But no, I've chosen about 20 different outputs that I'm going to share with you of what they've accomplished over the last 9 years. 79 people have been taught how to read and write at a primary school level. We've partnered with 6 local schools, continue to partner with them. That's in the education sector. In the health sector, 570 families have been trained in human development, diabetes prevention, sanitation, nutrition. 90 families are currently maintaining home gardens, 4 active community gardens serving hundreds of families. Over 3,000 people have been vaccinated. These are all ways that families have earned their hours and served their community. Over 5,000 households have been surveyed by the state health department in partnership with the state. And over 30 families have participated in drug and alcohol addiction education. I'm very proud of the work that One Mission's doing in the last 9 years. And when I look back at 25 and starting it, I go, we have a much better chance of lifting people out of poverty with this strategy. Once the families earn all their hours, then it's our turn. They did their part. They earned their 200 hours. They developed their community. Now we feature the families. We feature these families in real time on our website. We feature them at things like galas. We feature them at anywhere anybody will listen, frankly. If somebody will listen to a family story, one of us at One Mission is going to tell it. So we use any medium we can, representing them on Facebook. One of the easiest things you guys can do outside of this gala to help One Mission and to help serve these families is share some of these family stories. When you see on One Mission when we post family story or we're featuring a family, this is what's happening. This family has earned 200 hours, spent 6 months earning their house, and then we feature them. You guys could share that family story and it helps put more families in homes. 100% of everything we raise on our website at the gala tonight, as Nate and KK mentioned, is going to go to projects and programs in the field. This is important because we need to tell other donors exactly where their money's going. Now let me just pause here and tell a quick story. A couple years ago we had a gala just like this. It wasn't this awesome, but it was like half this awesome. And about a month after that, this dude emails me. He's like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a nonprofit. Could I get some advice from this? Sure. So I take him to lunch, sit down with him. He's an intern at one of our partner churches. And we were just making small talk. And he said, hey, I went to your gala last month, man. It was awesome. I really liked it. I said, thank you. Appreciate it. What'd you think? Oh, he was good. He was good. He said, I will say one thing, though. I felt a little bit out of my league, man. I said, why is that? He said, well, there were some ballers there, like throwing down $5,000, $10,000. He's like, I had like $50. Like, I'm an intern. He's like, I didn't know how I even got in that room, to be honest, you know? And he said, so I just didn't donate. And I kind of felt bad that I didn't donate, but on the other hand, I didn't even know if it would make a difference. That was like a knife in my heart. I said, bro, I failed you. Like, if you think that your $50 doesn't move the needle, $50 buys 5 bags of concrete. $50 adds up. And if we think that $50 isn't significant, and we only wait for the $10,000, $100,000, $1 million asks or gifts, we're not going to build a community of givers, right? And so, if you're sitting out here tonight and you're going, hey man, I only got $50, it makes a difference. Nate's going to get into more of that in a minute when we have a time of actually funding some of these houses. But I just needed to take a moment and share that. Once we feature the family and we raise the money, houses cost between $6,000 and $10,000 a piece. Once we fund the house, then we can deliver materials to the job site. We buy everything locally, so everything is impacting the economic sector in that community, and we deliver it however that community would normally deliver it. We try to stay within the means that they have. We try not to invent new things that aren't sustainable. So we'll deliver by horse carriage if we need to. Once the materials are delivered, families can start building their house. It's one of the funnest ways to see communities in action. A lot of you guys that have already stood up know what this is like. You come down and you partner with these families. And we say it all the time. We're doing with, not for. We're gonna go down to Nicaragua this summer and actually visit Argentina. We have trips to Mexico almost every weekend. It's a great way to bring your kids. Again, as a 13, 14-year-old freshman, it changed my life. Bring your kids down there. They have a very different worldview. Once the house is built, then we dedicate the house. This is Argentina getting the keys to her house. Notice a couple things. One, I'm not in this picture. One Mission's not in this picture. We're not in this picture. There aren't any Americans in this picture. We did our part. We funded the material. They came together and built their house. They're the hero in the story. The second thing to notice, look at the joy on the people handing her the keys face. They're just as excited as Argentina is. A lot of them helped build that house, and they know that they're earning their own house. This is what it looks like when dignity is empowered. Once the house is complete and the house is dedicated, we send a completion report to everybody who helped fund that house. That's going to be true tonight. That's true for every donor that donates to One Mission outside of the One Fund. You get a completion report. We tell you when the house was built. We give you after pictures. You get obviously the before pictures. You get GPS coordinates. We try our hardest to connect you in as many ways, shapes, or form to the impact that you've helped make. One Mission is the conduit, if you will. That brings us to tonight. So where do we go from here? So tonight, we have a community representing all different types of sectors. As Nate mentioned, we've got baseball players, mayors, different sectors represented in our community, in our generous community. We have opportunities in all the different sectors that you guys stand on and the different stages that we stand on to help a lot of people and to leverage the gifts that we've been given to help the world's poorest people. One of the most recent examples of us partnering with the civic sector was last year. I was invited down to Hermosillo, Mexico with Mayor Greg Stanton. Mayor Greg Stanton's in the dark blue shirt. He's the current city mayor of Phoenix, and he invited us down to visit Hermosillo, which is actually the sister city to Phoenix. The Sister Cities program is it's more or less an MOU. I don't know all the details of it, but it's how we're helping different sister cities. So Hermosillo, the capital of Sonora, Mexico, is our sister city of Phoenix. We went down there for a couple of days. It was a blast. I'd never done anything like this. And I'd never seen mayors care so much. So that was super cool to just hang out there. Anyway, we go down there for a couple of days and we visit a community called Miguel Alemán. And we see if One Mission can be successful there. And we're gonna watch a video on that in a second, and you're gonna see what our vision is there and kind of what the work and project that we're doing there. But before we do that, I want to invite two people up here to just share a quick word, and then we're going to toss to Hermosillo, and you're going to see kind of what our project is there. I want to invite Mayor Jonathan Rothschild, who's the current mayor of Tucson. Jonathan, if you would come up, and Mayor Acosta, current mayor of Hermosillo. If you guys would both come up here, please. Mayor Jonathan Rothschild, I'm going to ask you a question. You've heard about what we were doing in Hermosillo. He invited me down to Tucson a couple months after this partnership was formed. He said, hey, we got a sister city in Nogales. Why don't we go down there for the day and see if One Mission can be successful there? And so we've spent a little bit of time talking about what that vision would look like. It's been a real honor to have those conversations. We're in the beginning phases of it. But I just wanted to kind of bring you up here tonight and just ask, what in particular are you excited about from your side to work with an organization like One Mission?
Well, Tucson is 56 miles from the Mexican border. We're a community that's 43% Hispanic. Our ties to Mexico are intense. Hermosillo, Guadalajara, Mexico City, Puerto Penasco, Nogales, which is the city that's 56 miles away. I learned about the work from Jason that he's done, particularly the work that he's done in Rocky Point and Puerto Penasco, our second closest city. And I thought of Nogales, Arizona. And I know Nogales, Arizona well. And that kind of work, the kind of work that One Mission does, could be so important to Nogales. So Jason and I took a trip together to Rocky Point, to Puerto Penasco. He showed me the work that this group has done there. I met the families, some of the families who have been impacted, and I said to Jason, I've got to take you to Nogales. We went to Nogales, we met with the mayor there, Timo Galindo, and the city of Nogales took Jason around, showed him land that can be utilized, showed him families that can be helped, and we're looking very much forward to partnering Tucson, Nogales, and One Mission to do the kind of work that's being done throughout Mexico and Central America, that much closer to home, 56 miles from our home. And Jason, I want to thank you for the work you do, the work that you've done as a startup, as a nonprofit entrepreneur. There's a lot bigger organizations around that have not been able to accomplish what you have. And so everybody in this room, you should be very proud of what you've done, because it really makes a difference in lives very close to ours. So thank you for that, Jason.
Thank you, John. Thank you. The reason why I wanted Jonathan to share a little bit was to just share the vision of where this thing can go. You're gonna watch a video on where this went with the city of Phoenix and the city of Hermosillo, and Mayor Acosta is gonna share what's going on in his city of Hermosillo. But I wanted him to share where this thing can go with working with other mayors and other sister cities. This is a movement. As Nate said in the beginning, there's 1.5 billion people that live in poverty. We're not standing up here saying we're gonna build 1.5 billion houses. I don't think that's gonna happen in our lifetime. But we can create movements and send families on a new trajectory that will have a ripple effect for communities. So 10 years from now, communities in Hermosillo look completely different, feel completely different, and are lifted out of lots of different brokenness. Mayor Acosta, as I mentioned, I met him last year when I went down with Mayor Stanton. And one of the first stories he told me was when he was a kid, he went on a mission trip in Mexico, and it broke his heart, and he fell in love with the poorest people in his own country, and he made a commitment to serve them. And he told me that story before I told him my story that I opened up with tonight. We have the same story. We both did the same thing as young high school kids going on a mission trip. And I knew right then this was somebody that can make a huge difference. So that friendship, that partnership over the last year has formed to where we have a really, really good, successful strategy that's working in Hermosillo. And so I want Mayor Acosta to just share real quick. Same question. Why are you in particular interested? What are you excited about? What's the most excited about the partnership with One Mission in particular?
Bueno, primero que nada, muchas gracias Jason, muchas gracias Mayor Rothschild, muchas gracias a todos ustedes, a todos los que nos acompañan de Hermosillo, muchísimas gracias. Bueno, primero creo que independientemente de en qué lugar nos toca estar a cada quien por circunstancias de la vida, es importante ver que la migración y el movimiento de gente en el mundo cada vez está siendo mucho más alarmante, como lo es en Miguel Alemán, que hay más de 5,000 familias que origen étnico del sur del país. Y bueno, la primera vez que platicamos por ser ciudades hermanas, con Jason, con Greg, con Mirla, con Pedro, con muchos de One Mission, lo que vimos es que algo que por más de 20 años en Hermosillo estuvimos ciegos o insensibles ante una realidad que estábamos viviendo en una comunidad de menos de 20 minutos de Hermosillo. Y bueno, en esa comunidad de Miguel Alemán hay miles de familias que están en esas condiciones, sin luz, sin agua, sin servicios, sin vivienda, en condiciones de extrema violencia, no solamente por el tema de la pobreza, sino por la pobreza también emocional y espiritual que viven día a día. Y bueno, pues hay mucho por hacer. Yo creo que lo más importante es que vimos una enorme área de oportunidad con la organización One Mission, y bueno, pues evidentemente nosotros lo que estamos queriendo es precisamente que la gente de Hermosillo, de México, de Sonora, la misma gente de ahí despierte ante una realidad que todos cerramos los ojos y bueno, tenemos muchos retos en el mundo. La violencia, el terrorismo, el cambio climático, pero la pobreza y la desigualdad es uno de los grandes retos que tenemos en esta generación que atender y creo que es una buena parte, como ahí se dibuja la casa, pues no nada más es darles vivienda, sino es ayudarles a tener mejor calidad de vida. Bueno, yo nada más... hemos ya electrificado, hemos construido ya vivienda y el reto es apoyar a más de 1,800 familias que están ahí con vivienda, pero no nada más con vivienda, sino también con desarrollo humano para que también puedan tener nuevos hábitos. Y agradecerles el que estén aquí, de veras, muchísimas gracias. Yo creo que One Mission, todos tenemos un propósito en la vida y One Mission tiene un propósito muy claro. Y los que están aquí también, yo creo que la solidaridad es lo que realmente engrandece al ser humano y no nada más pensar en nosotros mismos. Muchas gracias.
Stay up here for me. I have one last announcement, then we're going to toss the video, but this year's been a lot of fun for me. It's probably the funnest professional year I've had. It's also the first year that I've got my first gray hair, and I'm not sure if it has any direct correlation of working with elected officials, but these guys are a lot of fun to work with. As Maloro just said, this is an unprecedented partnership. To have a nonprofit from Phoenix partner with two cities internationally, this is really unprecedented, and it's amazing to see leaders like this step up, especially internationally, and say, yeah, maybe we dropped the ball. Maybe these communities do need some help. And how can One Mission partner with the city? And so I just admire both of your guys' leadership for stepping up and saying, yeah, let's partner. Let's see what we can do to help our people. So thank you for that. I have the unique privilege tonight to announce something that, again, to my knowledge, has never existed with the sister cities and has never existed with acting governments. The City of Hermosillo tonight is going to match every dollar that we raise to the first $100,000. Every dollar. More clapping, more clapping, more clapping, more clapping, more clapping. $100,000. More clapping, more cowbell. $100,000 is going to be matched by the City of Hermosillo. With that, no further delay, check out what we're going to do in Hermosillo. Thank you all.
When we talk about building community one house at a time, what we mean is that communities are very complex. There isn't just one solution to poverty, hunger, or lack of job opportunities. One of the things we know is that a healthy community is built on a strong foundation of local leadership, representing all sectors: health, economic, sports, media and arts, faith, and education. A perfect example of this is in Hermosillo, where we started to work earlier this year. Hermosillo is the capital of the Mexican state of Sonora, which lies just south of Arizona. With a population of over 800,000, it's a major manufacturing hub for the region, surrounded by rich farmland. Just outside of Hermosillo is Miguel Alemán, a small, poor town without a lot of amenities. Many of the barrio residents have moved here from other parts of Mexico to get jobs on large farms in the area.
En el poblado Miguel Alemán, en esta colonia, viven familias que el 80% son inmigrantes del sur del país. Y ellos vienen acá para conseguir una mejor calidad de vida para ellos, para su familia. Vienen por un sueldo no muy bueno, pero es mejor al que tenían en su estado de origen.
Soy de Guadalajara. Cuando yo llegué aquí traía un niño con la pierna, la rodilla abierta y me lo iban a operar, y también esa fue la razón y la causa que yo me vine así de rápido, y pues lamentablemente nada más llegamos como lo que traíamos puesto.
Pues cuando llovía, cuando caía mucho el agua y teníamos que andar buscando a donde refugiarnos, nos hundimos todo y andábamos sacando el agua con unas cubetas de agua dentro de la casa. y aparte se cayó un pedazo de techo. Y aparte de eso, pues teníamos miedo de que se derrumbara la casa.
En el poblado Miguel Alemán tenemos algún tipo de catástrofe como lo que son las lluvias, inundaciones. Hemos perdido la vida de mucha gente que por no tener una vivienda digna, muchos de ellos quedan con secuelas muy graves en su salud precisamente por no tener esas condiciones dignas de vida.
Bueno, definitivamente uno de los grandes problemas es las viviendas. Son viviendas en un muy mal estado, carecen de piso firme, tienen techos de lámina, de asbesto, de plástico.
When we see a problem that's too big to tackle, that's what we live for. Can we end poverty in this community alone? No, but together, big things are possible. That's why we're excited to partner with Mayor Maloro and his staff.
Nadie puede solo, un vecino no puede por sí solo, un empresario no puede por sí solo. Nadie logra grandes proyectos por sí solo. Por eso el pensar en grande nos llevó a conocer a 1MISSION y bueno, pues lo que me emociona es que este proyecto, que bueno, pues es ambicioso, que vamos viendo que se está convirtiendo en una realidad.
Our mission statement says we're a community development organization giving people in poverty the opportunity to earn a house by serving their community. But we can't do that alone. We need to involve local churches. We need to pay attention to the health and the educational needs in the community. And we need to involve elected officials.
After meeting with the mayor, we were inspired and confident that our mission could be successful there, and we got right to work. They showed us they were serious by funding the first 15 houses, and that's how the 1MISSION Hermosillo partnership was born.
Today we're celebrating unprecedented partnership between two countries, two cities with the Sister Cities program and 1MISSION. But we're really celebrating these 15 families who are receiving their homes today. You guys are the real heroes in this story. We're not the heroes, it's not 1MISSION, it's not the city. You're the heroes that in the face of adversity has stood up and said, all I needed was an opportunity to better my lives, and you've seized that opportunity. And now you're a beacon of light and hope for thousands of other families in this community. So today we celebrate you, and we also say, we're just getting started.
For these families, a house is just the beginning. They now have a safe place to protect them from extreme weather, from violence, and from disease. But most importantly, they have something that's theirs, something that they can build their lives on, something that they earned and came with dignity.
Bueno, mientras no resolvamos el gran problema de la desigualdad y de la pobreza, porque la pobreza no solamente es alimentaria, sino también de capacidades. Entonces, por eso estamos invirtiendo de manera transversal, cambiando los entornos, metiendo luz, regularizando su tierra, vivienda, educación y alimentación y salud. En todas esas áreas estamos interviniendo. ¿Para qué? Para realmente cambiar el entorno de las familias que viven ahí. De esa manera está impactando 1MISSION. Con todas sus visitas han generado este despertar.
Life has already been transformed for these first 15 families, but there's a lot of work to be done. We plan on building another 500 houses in Miguel Alemán over the next couple of years and transforming this community forever.
Estoy emocionada todavía, no puedo creer que mi sueño se haya hecho realidad, porque yo siempre soñaba con una casa así pues, para mis hijos, y van a tener una casa donde no se van a preocupar de que venga la tormenta, que venga la lluvia, y pues se hizo realidad mi sueño. Es bonito porque es que sí es verdad, y ahora sí sé que Dios existe.
It's an honor for us to do what we do. This story is bigger than any one person. It's about hardworking people and communities just like Miguel Alemán. It's about generous supporters and donors who fuel our mission. Together, we really can change the world.
Never give your microphone away.
Sorry.
No. It's communities like this, stories like this that inspire me. And I'm sure for those of you in this room, you have been inspired or certainly re-inspired by these stories. It's actually what gives me the motivation and the reason I can stand before you and ask you to partner with us financially. These families have worked hard. They've done their part. Now it's our part to partner with them.
And we've identified 400 families in the 3 countries that we serve who are ready right now to start earning their homes.
And then as you heard in the video, another 500 have been identified in this community of Miguel Alemán. 900 families, 1.6 billion people. It can be really daunting. It can be mind-numbing, those numbers. But like everything we do, we want to start with one. Because we know that one family can change a community, which can inspire another community. Puerto Penasco inspired what's happening in Hermosillo. Hermosillo is inspiring what's happening in Nogales.
And we can move as fast as our funding allows, but like Nate said, we're gonna start with one. And so we're gonna put a photo up on the screen here of the family that we can get a home for right now. This is the Vasquez Lopez family, a family of 4, young parents in their early 20s, Julio and Alejandra, and these are their little kids. 4-year-old Julio and 1-year-old Margarita. Julio goes to work every single day, working to the bone, in the fields. He's doing what he can to provide for his family, right? Just like we all do every day. He brings home $60 a week. His wife stays home to care for the kids. He's doing everything he can to protect them. But with that amount of money, he's never gonna be able to break out of the endless cycle of poverty unless we do something, unless we become the miracle that this family is waiting for. And we can do that.
That's right. For the next 10 minutes, we're going to give you the opportunity to give. Some of you are going to be like the intern, right, who has $50 in your pocket, and that goes a long ways. Some of you are going to be able to partner with us maybe $10 a month. Others of you in this room certainly have the opportunity to fund a street of houses or a neighborhood. Giving always requires some sort of sacrifice. Your sacrifice may be that you don't buy a couple coffees a month, right? Some of you, it might be bigger, like not buying another vacation home. That's not like a joke, actually. I'm being serious. There's people in this room who that's the reality. It requires sacrifice. Regardless, though, $50, $100,000, we can make a huge difference if we partner together.
And I want to remind you of a few things. 100% of your donation will go to building homes, thanks to all of our sponsors, the One Fund, and you're going to be sent that proof report that Jason mentioned as soon as the home is built. And that's going to be a really good feeling to know that you were a part of that. Also, thanks to the $100,000 donation from the City of Hermosillo, everything that you donate up to that amount will be matched. So you're making double the impact, really. $10 is going to buy 2 bags of concrete. $9,000 is going to buy 2 homes. That's 2 families whose lives are being changed forever.
That's right. And as a husband, as a father, I look at these stories, I think I would do whatever it takes, right, to provide for my family. And now we can do something. Like, we can do something about it.
There are a couple of ways that you can give and get this family that you're looking at into a home. You can send a text message, super easy. You're just gonna text the word Gala to 313131.
What if people pronounce it Gala? Is it still
It's
spelled
okay.
the same?
Let me say this again. Text 313131. The letters G-A-L-A.
Okay, great. Gala
So no
or
matter how
Gala,
you say
it doesn't matter.
We
Text
got
the
it
same
covered.
thing. Okay.
Good call, though. I was thinking about that. It made me
never
nervous
know.
today. Do I say
Yeah.
Gala or Gala? Every time. It makes me nervous. The other way is if you look at the back of the seat in front of you, you're going to see an envelope. And that's like the old school way. So you can put cash in there, you can put a check in there, or you can put your credit card info on there. And then you
She
can
said
take
credit
it.
card info. You could put your credit card in there, but that requires a whole bunch of other things.
We can't promise it will be returned. Once you fill out the info or put your check or your cash in the envelope, we're going to have volunteers waiting for you at the doors. So after the program, you can just hand it to them. They'll have a box to put it in. We'll also have a couple people up here after the program too, so you can drop it in there.
That's right. All right. Let's do it.
I first want to acknowledge a group of people that without them, One Mission wouldn't exist. They're the most critical asset for us to accomplish our mission, and that's our staff and their spouses. If you guys could come up here, please. Please, huge round of applause for these guys. Thank you. This is Pastor Kruckenberg. This is his church, New City, and we are going to ask him to close us in prayer. Again, guys, thank you. Sydney, Katie, thank you. Great job tonight. This is my wife, Tina, right here. This is Nate's wife, Emily. Pastor Kruckenberg, would you please just close us out in prayer?
Sure. Your team did an amazing job, I have to say. If you lead a team and they say we can't do it, just say, well, I came to this One Mission event and they built this house in 2 days in this parking lot and did all this stuff in like less than 48 hours. Amazing. You are going to have it ready for church in the morning, right? Okay, good. All right, let's pray. God, thank you for what you've done to inspire Jason, his team, to do some amazing things. Father, we know that you put a vision in his heart. And Lord, you gave him the energy, the mental capacity, the business acumen, the relationships. Father, but we know that you birthed it in him, and so we thank you for it. I thank you for him, his team, the families who are involved. We thank you for the leadership in the different cities that we've heard about tonight, God. I pray that you continue to grant favor to them, Lord, that you would open up doors for them, and God, that they would just continue to work as unto you, that your kingdom might come, that these people might experience your goodness because of the generosity and the hard work of this team. I thank you for those who are here, who, Lord, have the capacity to give. And Father, I pray that you put on their heart right now to give, to sacrifice, as Nate talked about. God, you tell us to give to the needy. You clearly call us to it. And Father, I pray that you motivate many to do that tonight and as they leave and go back and tell the story. So God, we give you the glory. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. A couple last minute announcements. There's 30 people standing around the outside, plus another 70 more who have spent the last 36 hours volunteering. So let's thank our volunteers. We're really grateful for you. We're also going to be counting up the results of all your giving tonight. So if you have the time to stick around, we'd be happy to have you stick around. Remember, you can drop the envelopes off in the back or up front. And as soon as we can get that counted, we're gonna make an announcement.
We're looking forward to that. And I want to remind you that the exhibits are all still open, so check those out, especially the house walk outside. You cannot miss that one. The Static Dance Band, they're awesome. They're going to be partying with us till 11 p.m. So listen to some music, go to the exhibits, grab a drink, and just celebrate with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for coming, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Good night. Thank you.